Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Um, First off, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Nidhi Desai. I am the District Convention Elections Committee Chairwoman, and I'm also the current Lieutenant Governor of Division 25B. Um, I would also like to introduce the other two members of my committee that are here. Jordan and Ania, if you guys would like to introduce yourselves at this time.
Ania, you can go
Hey
first.
guys, for those of you who don't know me, I am Ania and I am from Division 26, which is located more so near the beach area.
Hey guys, I'm Jordan, and I'm the Lieutenant Governor of Division 21. It's by Charleston, kind of around like the coast of South Carolina, that area.
We also have another Lieutenant Governor joining us today. Isabel, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, my name is Isabel and I'm the Lieutenant Governor of Division 11C, which is like the Fuquay area.
Awesome. So we'll go ahead and get started with the presentation. All right.
Okay, so to begin, we just want to go over the basics of Key Club International before we get into the really specific part for the Carolinas District. So the levels of Key Club International, they're as they are on the screen. The general member, of course, the most important part of Key Club, the people that actually perform the service activities. Next up, you got the club officers, president, vice president, treasurer, secretary. I know there are a bunch of other positions within that, but those are the main ones. And then you get to the district level, the people that preside above the clubs. That's where you get to the lieutenant governor position. We preside over the presidents and kind of make sure that everything runs smoothly in the clubs. And above us are the governors, the secretaries, the treasurer, and the editors per district. They kind of overlook us and make sure that we're doing our job correctly and help us out to make sure that we can run our district effectively. And then subordinate them resides the international district, which includes the international president and the vice president, and then the trustees who look over the governors to make sure that they're running the district effectively.
All right. So specifically to the Carolinas District Board, the Carolinas is obviously North and South Carolina. Our district administrator is Mr. J. Scott Johnson. Our Carolinas District Governor is Morgan Yelverton. The district secretary is Daniel Liu. The treasurer is Katie McNiff. And the editor is Lindsay Banks. And we have 34 lieutenant governors in the district, and each lieutenant governor is responsible for one division. And each division can hold up from anywhere between 3 and 10 clubs.
Okay, guys. So I'm pretty sure most of you may be asking, so what are the true roles of a lieutenant governor? First and foremost, before I begin, understand that when you become a lieutenant governor, they don't expect you to be perfect all the time, but do expect you to try your very best at everything you do. If you are trying, that's what they're asking for. They're asking for the effort. It might not be 100% right the entire time, but that is okay. The whole point of you getting the job and the whole point of you working and being a lieutenant governor is just the fact of you trying. Okay, so to get down into the grit of things, if you can give me 1 second. So the first role of a LTG is to act as a liaison between the clubs and the division and the district board. So what that's saying is more or less if your club is having an issue and they need help and you don't really know where to get that answer from, you can go directly to the district board. You can ask the governor, you can ask the secretary, you can even ask anybody on the district board committee, like J. Scott Johnson, people like Miss Megan, who you will meet later on at district convention, and they are amazing people. They don't mind helping with anything that you may need help on. But the whole point of being a liaison is just being that bridge between your home club and then the district board itself. Second part is collecting contact information, which is very, very important. If I have to be honest, I want to say that when you collect contact information, you want to collect it at the very, very beginning of your cycle. I mean, getting it at the beginning of your term will save you a lot of headache and frustration at the end of the year. Being in OTG for 2 years, I've learned that it is so much easier to just go ahead and get it, nip it in the bud the first couple of months of your term so that in the end, when you're trying to rush and get your RFL binder together, which you will learn about at district convention or either the first experience that you do or yet that you have with your board, that you understand, you'll get it once you become an OTG. The second part, well, the third part is creating monthly newsletters. The newsletters are given, or they're a task that's given to you so that your home clubs, your division, so that everybody knows about what's going on in the district itself, with the Carolina district itself. Some of the information that you'll put in there may be about district events like fall rally or Kiwanis Family Conference, or there may be something about holding a PCM for your division, like where you want to hold it, when you want to hold it, like where it's going to be, things like that. And they may even be service ideas. Like for the summer, you may want to do a car wash. You may want to give them ideas because they may be stuck, especially for clubs who aren't really as active. To get them active and to get them going, you may want to give them ideas on how they can be active and going. The fourth one is filling out monthly reports. Filling out monthly reports is very, very important. And it's important because it keeps you organized about how your club is or how your home division is or whatever division that you get. It lets you know how your division is doing every single month. It's kind of like an overview of how you've done for that month, whether you've done poorly, or whether you haven't done, or whether you've done exceedingly and above all things, and that you've done it very, very well. But the whole point is just for you to be organized, and it lets you and it lets your district board, your executive board, know what you've been doing the entire month. Organizing meetings and club visits. Club visits are very, very important because it's nothing better than to have that face-to-face contact, because you can speak to me over a phone, but personally, if you take the time out to come and see me, then I know that you really care about what you're doing. So if you can't take if you can take the time out to come and see me, or to come in at least, you know even if it's for like 5 minutes, if you could take the time out to come and see me, then it means the world. It lets me know that you enjoy your job and that you really, really love what you're doing. Organizing meetings. When you're organizing meetings, I have one good tip, and that is just to make sure that you are very, very aware of all of your school schedules, as far as athletic events are concerned, and, non-athletic events like beta club or stuff like that. Make sure that you're very, very aware of events and what's going on. And even for teacher work days, make sure that you are aware of what is happening so that you don't happen to run across a day that nobody can make it to the meeting because you didn't know. Planning and executing a division-wide service project. For me, this is probably one of the hardest ones I've done, because given every division is different, so you have to learn to adapt to however your division is. And for mine, my division is actually very active, so I had to get a date where I knew nobody was doing anything, which is the very, very end of the year, and it was actually in June. And we held a spring yard sale, and it went very, very well. But if you want to, when you are planning this, you want to make sure to plan it like 2 months prior, even 3 or 4, just so that everybody can mark the date in their calendar so they can't say that they didn't know. The worst thing that you want to have happen is that you're planning it the night before and nobody shows up because something is happening on that very same day. So my tip to you for when planning a division-wide project is to make sure that everybody can attend, because that's what you need. You need attendance. Attendance is one of the most important things that you will need for president council meeting. That's what I meant to say. Their PCM is the acronym for President's Council Meetings. For meetings like that, and for even meetings that you may want, um, your executive board show up at your club meetings and stuff that you hold every Friday or every Tuesday or whatever day that you hold them, you know, to have attendance is to have everything. It lets people know you have witnesses, you have proof that you actually held the meeting, that it went well. The next one is attempts to expand the Kiwanis Circle into division. A year ago, I had a school that was inactive. They were suspended, then eventually, they didn't pay their dues, they didn't pay the suspension fee, they ended up being inactive. And I got them active again, but one of the hardest things is actually reaching out to them. If you do it at the beginning of the year, like when you're getting information from your advisor at your school or at that school, it will be easier because you it's the very beginning of the year, it's fresh, and the school is just starting. You have advisors that are willing to work with you as long as you're willing to reach out to them first. But expanding the Kiwanis Circle more so is like getting into starting, you know, clubs, like clubs for like K kids, or like builders clubs or key clubs, even at different high schools around your area who don't have a key club yet. But and I will say that it can be difficult, but at the same time, when you get the job done, you'll be happy at what you did. It will take time. You have some people that will simply say no, they don't have time to do it. You have some kids that won't even really care about what key club is. But again, you will come across those kids that will care, that will want to be a part of a key club. You'll come across that advisor that will say, "Oh, well, yeah, I can help you with that. I'm glad you're telling me right now," so that they understand. They know that you're doing it right now, that you need help. And if you let your Kiwanis, excuse me, if you let your Kiwanis club know, trust me, the fact of you asking your Kiwanis club for help means the world to them, because they have information that you will need. They have advice that will help you out so much along the way. And one of the last ones, attends all district events. When you run for lieutenant governor at district convention, you will be given a form, and along with that form, when you read it, it'll tell you all the events that you are required to attend, and the events will be um leadership experiences, and you have three of them in which you will learn about as you go along in your term when you run for it. And then you have fall rally and Kiwanis Family Conference, which some of you do know about because you've been there before. But when you attend all district events, this will help you connections. It'll help you form networks that you will need if you plan to run for a higher position. And not only that, but as far as your Robert F. Lucas notebook is concerned, which you, like I said, you will learn about, it helps you gain points, and you will get all of your points for that, and so you'll have that part of your notebook covered. One of the last things I want to tell you is, like I said before in the beginning, just simply try. They're not asking you to cross every I and dot every T, but at the end of the day, if you're giving 100% effort, then you're okay. And that's probably one of the best pieces of advice that I've been told by Mr. Johnson, actually. And I am finished.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Nia. I just wanted to add something. Um, for attempting to expand the Kiwanis Circle, just a little bit more background information on the different branches of Kiwanis. We have K Kids clubs, which are at the elementary school level. We have Builders clubs, which are at the middle school level. Key Club, which is obviously the high school level. We have Circle K, which is the collegiate level. And then we have Kiwanis, which is like the adult version. And we have Action Club, which is for disabled members. And so during your term as lieutenant governor, you can definitely try to reach out to middle schools and elementary schools in your area and ask them if they would be willing to join the Kiwanis family and possibly charter a club at their school. Okay, moving on, we have the actual elections process at district convention. Um, so the elections process at district convention is basically summed up in that first, all interested candidates are required to attend district convention. So hopefully all of you guys have already submitted your payment for convention because it is a requirement to attend since starting this year, all lieutenant governor candidate elections will be held at district convention. Elections will be held on the Saturday morning of convention. So I know that everyone will arrive on Friday evening, and then the next Saturday morning, that's when elections will occur. Each candidate will need to prepare a short 2-minute speech explaining why he or she would be the best candidate for lieutenant governor. The elections will be split up based on divisions. And so just say you're in Division 21, then you'll be all the Key Club members from Division 21 at district convention will be together in a room, and all the candidates running for that division will be preparing their speeches and saying their speeches to those members from that division. In addition to saying your 2-minute speech, you will also be asked a couple questions provided by current lieutenant governors after you say your speech. These questions are pretty broad, so they will make you think on the spot. Some examples might be what leadership experiences do you currently have that you would bring to the Carolina District Board? Or what has been your favorite service project in the last year? Just questions like that will make you think on the spot. So try to be prepared for that because I know that especially if there's a tie in the number of votes that two candidates might have, then those questions can really come in handy. And if there is a tie, then they'll have a rerun, and the current lieutenant governors will just keep asking you guys questions, and then based on your answers, people will vote. So that's the elections process. And then we just wanted to share some of our personal experiences on the district board. For me, being on the Carolinas District Board has been a really amazing experience. As you can see there, it's been a bittersweet one because at first, like most of you guys are probably right now, I was really nervous going in, and I was unsure about whether I could make a difference on the district board because I didn't get my home division, and so I was, kind of feeling skeptical about what might happen. But nevertheless, those feelings quickly changed, and I had such an amazing time. I made so many new friends, and we went all of those district events that are mandatory to go on. Trust me, like, you won't feel that they're mandatory at all. You'll want to go to each and every one of them because they are truly amazing, and they're all different in their own way. Like International Convention was held in Atlanta, Georgia this year, and it was so great. But that was definitely different from Kiwanis Family Conference, which was in the mountains of North Carolina. So you get to learn new things and you get to meet new people at all these different events. And I still have contact information from people that I met at Kiwanis Family Conference or at International Convention, which is really cool. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that you guys all continue your aspiration to run for lieutenant governor. So yeah, that's just my little experience. Jordan or Nia, do you guys want to say something?
I'm sure you guys can read mine, and what I said basically is explains itself about me. just loving the idea of Key Club itself. And if I could join again, then I would. I'm almost, hesitant about the fact that I'm graduating early because I had so much fun, and I continue to meet new people every year that I've been a part of Key Club. Honestly, like I said, if I could join again, I promise you I would. I mean, the experience has been amazing. There have been times where I've seen people shed tears simply because they love being a part of this friendship, this family, this, it's like a second home when I leave. I mean, even the first year that I was a part of Key Club, it was understood then that I was joining a family. And so to be a part of it again for this year, I hate to leave it. I do hate to leave it. And I'm not necessarily leaving it. I'm going to join Circle K at NC State. So more or less, I mean, I'll be a part of the same family, just a different form of it. But again, I love Key Club and will forever love Key Club. I will always be a Key Club Red Heart. I mean, ever since my very, very first meeting at district convention, which was only 2 years ago, I fell in love with it at first sight, and I will forever and ever love Key Club.
Yeah, that's awesome. Jordan, did you want to say something?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was more of, I took something that, I mean, I've been doing for a few years and kind of just grew it out. And not grew it out, but like on everything that I've wanted to do. And it kind of just took everything that I was doing to a higher level. And to me, that was really impactful in a bunch of meaningful ways. I was joined by a bunch of people that likewise had like the same mindset as me. And it's something special that I know it's different for each person. And I think the best way to actually find out what it means to you is, well, first of all, you got to join. But it's something I definitely encourage. It's definitely meaningful in a unique way. And I encourage you all to explore it.
Thank you. Isabel, did you want to say something about your experiences?
Yeah, sure. Sorry. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, like Ania and Jordan, like I think Key Club is really special because of the people that you get to meet and like the places that you get to see. Like before Key Club, I'd never seen a mountain before. Like you're really put out of your comfort zone in many, many ways, but in the best way possible. Like I think like you take more risks, you get more responsibility, you meet new people, you are held to a certain standard that I think is just really, really amazing. Yeah, there's really no experience quite like it, and I think that like if you do have the opportunity to run and if you do win, I think you'll really understand like by the end of your term like what exactly like we're talking about when like we say that it's like it's life changing. Like it's really unlike anything you will ever do.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything that everyone said. It's definitely something to explore and to take on as a challenge, not only for yourself, but also to improve your home schools and communities by taking on this leadership role above the club level, which is always great. So I guess that about wraps things up. Does anyone have any questions? Or any like comments or concerns about anything that we have talked about in this slideshow?
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
So when you talked about the plans, the division, the Wild Service project, I think.
The division-wide service project, yeah.
Yeah. So I heard that one of you guys said the what is it? The what is it? It was the yard sale, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know, like what are we exactly supposed to do for these projects? Can it be anything?
Yeah, you can do honestly anything. The whole point is just to get your entire division involved in it. And so that's what you would call your division-wide service project. But you can do anything you want to do. That was just the idea that we had for our home division.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, these division-wide service projects will usually take place in the latter half of your lieutenant governor term.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Ania said, they're completely free form. You can do basically whatever you want. You can collect items. Like I know that for my division, we're collecting hygienic products and donating them to a local homeless shelter.
Right.
I know that another couple divisions are joining together and they're having like a little charity ball. And so they're inviting people to come, and then they donate some money to this charity. And so that's another idea. But as you progress through your lieutenant governor term, you'll definitely get more ideas from others and from the executive board about possible projects. But it's really up to you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. I'm sorry that the last time didn't work out. We had quite a few technical difficulties, but I'm glad that you guys were able to get this information this time. And I will be sending out a Lieutenant Governor directory, which will have, just in case if you don't have this information already, it will have your Lieutenant Governor's name, division, and email address. So you guys can contact them whenever you want, and hopefully they'll get back to you on questions specifically related to your division. And then also I can put my email address in the chat right here. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to email me. And I will get back to you on anything regarding Lieutenant Governor elections. I'll be more than willing to help you guys with that. Okay, we do have one more question. If you don't mind me reading it out loud for the rest of the group. When you mentioned elections, one of you said that you did not get elected to your home division. Is it possible to run for a division that is not yours? So yeah, that was me. I don't have my home division right now. So basically, how it worked as of last year and every single year before that was that each division held their own elections on different dates before district convention. So by district convention, almost all lieutenant governors had already been elected. And so last year I ran and I lost. So I still attended district convention because I've heard people saying that you could still have an opportunity to become a lieutenant governor if you go to district convention and run. So I went to district convention, and basically I didn't have to say a speech or answer any questions. They just kind of put all of us in a room and just kind of handed out divisions, because not all divisions held elections prior, because maybe they didn't have time, or there just weren't any interested candidates at that time. And so that's basically how I got my division. So as of this year, since all elections are being held at district convention, there is still a possibility that if you lose your home division, you can still get another division, because as the same cases as before, other divisions might not have any interested lieutenant governor candidates at district convention. So if that is the case, then those that ran but lost and still want to become a lieutenant governor can take up those other divisions. Does that make sense for the person who answered that question or asked that question? I'm sorry. Okay, cool. So I guess, yeah, that goes for everyone. So don't feel completely discouraged if you lose the election for your home division. You still have a chance at getting another division that is not your home division. because I know it worked for me, and here I am now. It's if you really want the position, then there is a way that you can get it. So just keep your hopes up, and I know that each of you will do fantastic. Just practice your speeches, be confident, and just hope for the best. Are there any other questions?
Nidhi, I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was talking to Morgan, our governor, and I was also talking to other lieutenant governors, and there was some like disconnect as to who's actually voting for the lieutenant governors. So is it going to be club delegates or a panel of lieutenant governors?
I think it's going to be club delegates, because that's how it's been in years past at the separate elections for each division. I've never heard of a panel of lieutenant governors actually electing lieutenant governors. So yeah, as of right now, my answer is club delegates.
Okay, because Morgan told me it was going to be a panel of seniors.
For each lieutenant
Yeah.
governor?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's how it was last year.
That's what.
Yeah, that's how it was last
yeah.
year. That's how I got elected.
For those
Oh.
who are
Basically, the elections, we elect the lieutenant governors.
I'm sorry, I
us.
did not know that.
Okay.
Last time I checked, last year it was like for people who weren't elected, who didn't meet quorum at district convention, they were voted in by seniors who felt like they would be a good fit for that division.
Got it. But
Exactly.
that was last year, because now
Yeah,
like all elections are being held at district convention. So would it still hold true that club delegates would still have a first say if there is a quorum at district convention?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Ania, like were those people like the people who lost the elections that were waiting in that room? Because I know that who did the lieutenant governors vote for? Was it people who didn't have a quorum present?
Yeah, people who didn't have a quorum present, or people who may have lost, who still wanted to run again, they would go, and then they would go into the room, and they would run, and they would get asked one question by can't think of his name right now. Oh, Mr. Jean, that's his name. Mr. Jean would ask that one question, and the seniors would hear the answer, and they would decide on who they felt would be.
For me, my division was already won before district convention, and I decided to run at convention.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have to give a speech. I didn't even have to go before a panel or anything. I just stayed in that room, and 2 hours later, they told me that I had a division.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So
yeah.
I don't really know.
Yeah, I think it's a case by case thing. I think first priority goes to the club delegates. So each candidate will have to go in front of their I'm sorry, I can't talk. Their club delegates and say their speech and answer the questions. And then if you lose, or if your division does not have a quorum, does not have enough people for a quorum, then you'll have to either go in front of a panel of lieutenant governor seniors, or I guess you'll wait it out, and you might be lucky enough to get a division without having to go in front of other people. I think it all just depends on your division and how many people from your division attend district convention.
Okay.
Oh, and for those who don't know what quorum is on simply just 2/3 of your division showing up at district.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you have less than 2/3, then you'll probably end up having to go in front of the seniors, or you'll end up being like what happened with one of our lieutenant governors. They ended up waiting, and then they ended up getting the position.
Right. Any other questions? All right. Again, thank you guys for attending. I hope you found this information useful. And again, I will post my email address in this chat, so that if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact me. And then I will be emailing you guys that Lieutenant Governor directory, probably either today today or tomorrow so that you guys can email your own lieutenant governor for any division-specific questions. So if that's it, then thanks again so much, and I hope you guys. Oh, we have another question. Can a candidate for lieutenant governor be a club delegate and vote? Yes. I know that happened in my division's elections last year. Since there wasn't 2 delegates from one of the clubs, then you can actually become a delegate and vote for yourself. So if there are less than 2 members present from a club in your division, then yes, you can become a candidate, or you can become a delegate and vote for yourself, while also being a candidate for lieutenant governor. All right. Last call for any questions. No? Okay. Well, thanks again, guys, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And again, just email me.
Thanks so much for coming. We hope to see
Thank you
you at
guys
district
so much
convention.
for coming. And just always don't feel free to reach out if you have any more questions. Thank you.